Good day to you. So welcome to another update on what on earth is happening with the canal boat right now. So I've been a bit slow filming for the past couple of weeks just because everything came to a standstill when something very exciting happened. One, it didn't come to a standstill because there was a lot of planning involved and a lot of measuring and getting the team all together. Two, the other exciting thing that happened is that Channel 4 might be interested in filming us. I don't know how on earth it happened. Well, I do know, I contacted them. But the Channel 4 producers of a particular show are very interested in filming the restoration of the narrowboat. So that's really effing exciting. So they were like, okay, when do you think the project will be complete? And I was like, oh, spring 2020. And they're like, oh, well, that doesn't really work for us. And I was like, did I say spring? I meant December, January. So I have three to 4 months of getting this shit sorted. A lot of organising has had to be done. I went out like a grown-up, went to Wilkinson's and got myself a little project book. Such a grown-up. Okay, first job. All windows need to be resealed. Boom. It's going to take around about 3 to 4 days. Excellent. The next thing to be done was to rip up the floor. Actually, I say the next thing, that's already been done. The old floor has been ripped up because where the windows were dripping, it rotted the floor. So that's gone, done, dusted. Lovely. Doors. We have the frames made and now we are just putting the wood inside. Beautiful, lovely grain finish. We'll be installing those. And then it goes to installation. I'm going to be working with the team every step of the way. I'm going to be getting in down and dirty throughout everything. So I'm going to be learning as I go and they're going to be teaching me. So I'm going to be there doing it. Excellent. I've watched plenty of videos on like boat projects and installation, but I think there's nothing like just getting stuck in. You know what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down. Lovely. And then the floor, like a new floor, that'll take 2 days. And then we'll have the stud walls up. The bedroom will be open because that's a living space and I'm going to be having quite a few friends over. So, because I'm so popular, I'm very lonely. So I want that to be part of the social space. The kitchen is going to take around about 3 days and I want to upcycle as much as possible. I want to get a really beautiful sink, like a copper sink or a Belfast sink, and a really beautiful wood finish. With this boat, any sort of design ideas, nothing's going to be too wacky or too, you know, I want to get, so the fixtures for the cupboards, I want to get antique handles, I want to have a lot of brass, a lot of copper fixtures, and I just want to be very free with the colour that I get to use. Very excited. And then we have the bathroom. Even though it's a small space, there's no reason why it can't be as luxurious as possible, and that's what I'm going for. The boat can hold, it's got 2 water tanks. Each one holds 100 litres of water. Papageno held 400, but it's just me and Lena on the boat. So I want to have a really luxurious shower. I think the copper sink, I'm going for either like a copper sink or a Moroccan hand-painted sink for inside, very small. And we're going to be having a cassette toilet, which I'll be emptying. We do have where the space where the old waste tank was, but I don't like waste tanks and it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable in case anything goes wrong, and you have to empty it every month. So the cassette toilet, it's just easier, and then that opens up more space for me, which is even better. Moving on, the floor I'm going for like a very warm oaky finish. It's going to be vinyl. The bathroom's going to have a vinyl fake marble splashback or anything interesting I can find. I had wanted tiles to give this sort of Edwardian industrial look, but I want to avoid mould at all costs, and you know, as the boat moves, constricts and expands, it's just safer. One of the pieces that's really important for me is the log burner. There's a lot of beautiful log burners out there, but for this project I want something a bit different. I want a bit of a standout piece, so I'm going for a antique, Art Deco, Victorian, whatever sort of log burner. I've seen several on eBay and on Marketplace. They've got this really beautiful twisted ironwork. So I'm very excited about just getting in there and upcycling as much as possible. Even the tiles that are going to be around the fireplace, I'm either going to be finding Victorian tiles, Edwardian 30s, or I will be custom painting them myself. Now, the most fun thing about this is I get to be going to plenty of salvage yards, which is really cool. It's what I love. It's so much fun getting a bargain. And also, these things are pieces of history, and there's no reason to just keep buying new crap. I would like to repurpose as much as possible. I've also changed my name about the name Papagena. At the moment, she still doesn't have a name. At the moment, the temporary name is still Bab, Big Ass Blue. Just because someone very helpfully pointed out to me that every time I said the name Papagena, if I'm not feeling good or a bit down, it's going to remind me of Papageno. So I think they're right. Thank you to the lovely person who pointed that out. You are right. So I wanted something a bit mythical. So my thing that I love are like myths, legends, and magical monsters and all that. I love it. So I've got this book here. I've introduced you guys to it before. The Encyclopedia of Things That Never Were. And inside is literally everything that you could think of the cosmos, of the ground and underground, of Wonderland, of magic, science and invention, of water, sky and air, of the night. Ooh. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it, and I'm just going to stop and see what it comes to for some ideas. Okay? Alright. Oh, last page. Tail rings, tattoos, totem, veil, ubar, wands, wax figures, wizards. Best out of 3? Yeah, okay. Well, let's up. 2 of the angry face, an ancestor of the Maoris. Okay. Sons of the Skyfather and Earth Mother. Yeah. Underworld, the dreaded region ruled by Hades, wearer of the helmet of darkness and owner of all the wealth under the ground. I mean, that sounds great, but no, okay. Virgo, nah, I'm a Leo. The first woman, Wotan, the god of battle, master of fury, and the leader of the wild hunt. In Britain, he is known as Grim, and in other parts of Northern Europe as Woden or Wodan. Oh, that's a little bit cool. Oh, it's cool because I've been writing the books Maddox Black, and in there is a baddie called, a very mysterious baddie called The Grim. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to bookmark that for some information, but no, I'm not going to call the book that. Okay, one last go. Now, I've done this quite a few times, and it keeps going to the page where Frankenstein's on. I'm not doing that. We've got Flying Ointment, the propellant for airborne witches. No, I'm alright, thanks. Frankenstein, nah. Garlic, I don't think so. Fairy glamour, Hammer of Thor, it's just a bit too dramatic. Homunculus, a tiny artificial man produced by alchemy. Sounds like a few ex-boyfriends. Maybe another day something will pop up, I don't know. Everything's quite exciting. Leela's getting better down the boatyard. She hated it last time I took her on the narrowboat. She loved the boatyard because there's dogs there, there's other people there helping her get a bit more social. Because living alone with me probably isn't very good for her, to be fair. And she hated the narrowboat and jumped overboard because of the sound of the engine. Papageno's engine was 10 times louder, but she was in a small space and she just jumped overboard, and she's just going to have to get used to it. It's going to be a lot better for her. She's going to have all this countryside, she's going to be around lots of other doggies, lots of other people, so hopefully it will help her. Apart from that, I've just been cracking on, working as hard as I can with the illustration work. I've been specialising in pet portraits recently, with a few family portraits, getting prepared for Christmas to get as much income as possible for the restoration of the boat. Another cool thing that's happened is that I went for an audition for BBC Radio, and I got through. That was weird. I had to stand on a cross, and you had 60 seconds to tell a story about yourself or something that had happened. So I stood on this cross, and there was this huge screen with 60 seconds doing a countdown, and there was 4 judges there, and I told the Montserrat story of when we went to the volcanoes and we weren't supposed to, but we did, and awkward. Anyway, I got 4 yeses, so that was pretty marvellous. So great. So I go to stage 2 tomorrow to have a tour around the studios, but oh God, I would just love it. I'd absolutely love it. To give like a realistic view of the radio. Whenever I listen to the radio, I kind of cringe, because you're listening to people and they always sound like they're smiling, like, oh, okay, it's 10:30, hope you dropped the kids off school, I'm going to put on a little bit of Genesis on for you now, have a great day. I think that's why I quite like to listen to podcasts with, I listen to a podcast called XFM, and it's got Stephen Merchant, Ricky Gervais and Cole Pilkington, and I love the sort of dry, dark sense of humour with a tinge of cynicism. I like it. But on top of that, on Friday I went to see Frankenstein with my sister, which was very cool. It was a very intimate play at the Belgrade Theatre in Coventry. I jumped a lot and screamed, and it was a little bit embarrassing because there were some teenagers behind me that weren't bothered at all. I'm hearing back from Channel 4 pretty soon. I've been in contact, they've come down and they've seen the boat, which was grand, and we're just waiting for the final go-ahead. So filming will take on a different spin. You'll be seeing a lot more of the back scenes sort of stuff with the salvage hunting, and you know, seeing more of the Channel 4 and the filming. If we go ahead, then it's going to be filmed over around about 3-4 months, and we won't be allowed to show the final product until they air the episode. They've said what I can show is more of the back scenes stuff and the making of the stuff, and show the bits that they won't be showing. So it sounds like a really cool challenge, but the idea of bringing forward the story of the canal boat from sailboat to canal boat to a national audience is amazing and really exciting, and I really want to share the story of how it happens, because I think in this day and age, like, I'm in my 30s and there's no way I can get a mortgage, there's no way. And I think more and more people are looking to alternative living and a more sustainable way of life and getting on the property ladder. And there were 2 things I wanted in my 30s more than anything. Well, it's something that I wanted all my life really, was to have my own home and be able to go where the fudge I like. And yeah, living in a canal boat is restricted, but not as restricted as living in a house that you don't want to be in. But we're still waiting for the go-ahead from Channel 4. So until they confirm, we're going to carry on work as normal. So we've got a good schedule behind us to throw ourselves into. And it just feels really good that things are coming together, finally. It's been about a bloody enough time. And, you know, a few months ago, I didn't have a clue where I was going, what I was doing, and I felt pretty down. So now it feels wunderbar. Feels good. And I still don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going, but yeah. I always wanted to be able to travel freely. When I was a child, there was 2 things that I wanted to be. When I was very young, I wanted to be a nun, because I thought all you had to do was pray and drink tea and eat biscuits. And then I got a little bit older and I wanted to be a gypsy. So now I'm a little bit in the middle. I'm a bit of both now. Yeah, dating's going really well. But I hope you've enjoyed this behind the scenes. I go to the boatyard tomorrow, start working with the guys, going over the plans and the measurements, ordering all the stuff, talking to the team. And I'm going to be there all throughout the week, so my schedule has to be really organised. Because Christmas is coming up, I work very, very hard to get all the commissions out for people who want to give gifts to their friends and families, loved ones. And then on top of that, I'm still writing this piece with Delos, which is really exciting. And on top of that, I've been writing my own things. I've been trying to release the Contractor Max Black 3. I've been writing this 1920s book. And then I had a great idea for a thriller that I wanted to do. Yeah, I hope you're ready for the onslaught of boat stuff. But thank you so much, and lots of love to you. So, yeah. Good night.